in the second quarter, led 49-7 at halftime. They rolled after that to a 74-point win, 101-27. No one played more than 20 minutes in that ball game. Lady Cougars are led by Mallory Miller, who had 15 points on 5 of 7 shooting, all of which came in the first half. Connor Keith knocked down 3 threes in the fourth quarter. She finished up with 11 points. The opponent here tonight or this afternoon, Iowa Western Community College. They come in with a record of 8-7. That schedule has been tough for the Lady Reivers as they come into Hutchinson. Playing Barton, this will be the 6th Jayhawk Conference team that Iowa Western has played so far in the season. They played the likes of Seward, Butler, Hutchinson yesterday, and they've been close in all of them until yesterday against the Blue Dragons. As the 6th-ranked team in the country, they rolled from the start to the finish to a 71-50 victory against Iowa Western. So that dropped the Reivers to 8-7 on the season. You look at some of their big-time scores. Aubriana Nodi averaging 10 points, 9 rebounds per game. Kyrie Dahlman averaging 12 points per game. They got some good post players that are really fundamentally sound. And then the guard play of De'Ara Davis and also Summer Blakemore. Not a great outside shooting team, but they'll start inside against this Barton team and then work their way outside. It is Barton against Iowa Western, the first matchup in a couple of years as these two teams played in 2016. Barton won that one in Great Bend, 79-77. There have been some close games of the Lady Cougars and the Lady Reivers over the last few years. Our Next Tech Wireless pregame show continues on after the break when we talk with Barton head coach Alan Clark. That's next on B104.3 The Point.
Marmy Ford in Great Bend invites you to jump into the season during the Built for the Holidays sales event. Take advantage now with 0% interest for 72 months on all new 2018 Ford F-150s. At Marmy's, if we don't have it on the lot, we'll locate it for you and have it ready to pick up when you arrive at the dealership. With a holiday deal this good, you're going to want to buy a Ford. Enjoy the season and come into Marmy Ford during the Built for the Holidays sales event. Marmy's makes it happen. Must finance through Ford Motor Credit with approved credit. Offer does not include Ford Raptors.
It's time for the Next Tech Wireless Coaches pregame show. Next Tech Wireless. Expect something different. We'll be back with Cougar Women's head coach Alan Clark. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Cougar basketball on B104.3 The Point.
The presents have all been opened, so now is the time to spend that Christmas cash on you. Gift yourself a new phone at Next Tech Wireless because all smartphones are half price, even the iPhone XR. That's a savings of $350. Tell your friends and family too, because unlimited data is free for an entire year on lines 3, 4, and 5. Certain restrictions apply. It's New Year. New half-price phone time at Next Tech Wireless. Switch today.
It's the Next Tech Wireless pregame show on B104.3 The Point. A Saturday afternoon game in Hutchinson for the Blue Dragon Holiday Classic. Barton taking on Iowa Western. Alan Clark joining us now. You get a 101-27 win yesterday against Ellsworth Community College. Kind of I guess a good way to ease your way back in after Christmas.
Yeah, I guess that's the way to look at that. Yeah, it was nice to be able to play all the kids and get some kids more minutes than they normally get, you know. But a whole different animal today.
It's got to be kind of nice to, and I think we talked about this before, Alan, where you play it at the sports arena knowing that you're going to be here later in February, kind of getting acquainted to it.
Yeah, I really liked the way we shot the ball yesterday. You know, Mallory shot it well, Connor shot it well. So yeah, that is nice to be able to get in here and get some shots up because, you know, coming in here, you know, in a month or so, we're going to need to be able to shoot it well when we play Hutch.
I know you didn't have to play anybody extensively yesterday in that ball game against Ellsworth, but, you know, always worried about conditioning, I guess, after the Christmas break. What have you seen in these last few days?
Yeah, we're not in the shape yet that we need to be, obviously, but hopefully after today and, you know, practicing next week, we'll be ready for Butler and we'll be back in, you know, game-ready shape by next Saturday.
Iowa Western kind of got roughed up a little bit against Hutch. It looked like a pretty good team. They got some bigs down low. The guard play is not bad either. What did you see early on against Hutch last night?
Well, Hutch defensively is really, really good, and they make people miss shots, and they make people turn the ball over. And that was the thing with Iowa Western yesterday is they just didn't make shots. You look at the shooting percentage, and it was way down. If they shoot a decent percentage, then then that's probably a whole different game. But Hutch had a lot. Their defense has a lot to do with that.
As far as trying to post up against them down low, what do you see kind of the matchups?
It'll be hard for our bigs, as far as back to the basket, because we're not as physical as their big kids. So what we'll need to get out and do is hopefully we'll get out and we'll set some ball screens and get them on the perimeter a little bit, and then maybe dive our big kids to the basket and get some touches that way instead of just back to the basket post moves.
That's Alan Clark, head coach of the Barton women, taking on Iowa Western here for the final day of the Holiday Classic in Hutchinson. We'll have the starting lineups coming up after this.
To the Alan Clark pregame show powered by Next Tech Wireless. Stay tuned for more pregame next.
We got to be more physical. And
Romine & Son Seed Company is proud to feature the starting lineup of Syngenta products.
Keisha's
Golden Harvest, corn, and
Western.
MK soybeans. See what's winning in the ground you're working with the help of Syngenta and Romine & Son Seed Company. Call Kent at 620-793-2985. That's 620-793-2985. Price and compare before your next purchase. Ken would appreciate the opportunity to work with you for all your seed needs. Romine & Son Seed Company, Great Bend.
The Best Western Angus Inn is the best place in central Kansas to send your friends, family, or business associates to stay when they're away from home. Best Western Angus Inn in Great Bend offers deluxe king rooms with a sofa sitting area or spacious doubles where you'll have access to high-speed internet. Relax in the indoor heated pool and hot tub. Enjoy the best drinks and steaks in town at the Page Bistro or have a filling breakfast at Perkins Family Restaurant. Stop by 2920 10th Street for a tour or call 620-792-3541 and make your reservations today.
Destination this Saturday afternoon, Hutchinson Sports Arena for a couple of games again as Barton takes on Iowa Western with the tip-off just minutes away at 1 o'clock, and then at 3 o'clock it'll be the final game of the Classic as it'll be the host school Hutchinson taking on a Ellsworth Community College. So Iowa coming down to Kansas here in 2018. I don't think there's a whole lot of hope that this Classic after Christmas will continue next year in Hutchinson, but I know Hutchinson and Barton Community College want to continue that relationship with both of them hosting Classics maybe in November or early December starting up next year, with Hutch coming to Great Bend and then Barton coming to Hutchinson in non-conference action. So the thoughts of it continuing on past this Christmas, probably very little as we go on in the next few years. But Barton taking on an Iowa Western team that started out the season as a nationally ranked team, but they've been roughed up. But you look at their schedule, and I was talking with Alan Clark earlier, the fact that I don't know if there's a team that has played a tougher schedule than Iowa Western has in the first month and a half, now 2 months of the season. You look at some of their opponents just in the Jayhawk Conference. They took on Seward County on November 16th, lost by 7 points. That was on a neutral site. And then they beat Cloud County on November 24th, 75-73, and that was in Concordia. They went to Butler and El Dorado back on November 25th, lost by 6, 85-79. They took on the Division II from the Jayhawk and Labette Community College, and they lost that ball game by 2, 64-62. That came on December 8th. So they are 1-4 against the Jayhawk Conference, and then they ended up losing to Hutchinson just last night by 21, 71-50. So outside of the Hutch loss, this is an Iowa Western team that has played the Jayhawk teams really, really close so far on the season, despite that 1-4 record with their only win coming against Cloud County. Out of Region 11, this is a D1 school compared to Ellsworth, who was D2 yesterday, who Barton just blew the doors off of. Out of Council Bluffs, Iowa, 315 miles away, so not as bad as a trip. They're right on the border with Nebraska in that Omaha-Lincoln area, so they're right on that border, about 315 miles away, a 5-hour trip, and a really good football team that had a chance at a national championship as well this year, but they lost by 3 points to Garden City Community College. They used to play in a lot of the Jayhawk teams and a number of their sports. Football is no different. In fact, if you look at their schedule, it's basically a Jayhawk Conference schedule for Iowa Western, and they won a national championship just a few years ago. Iowa Western, they come in at 8-7 on the season for head coach Lindsay Vanderhoof. In her 4th season as head coach, has an overall record of 82-26. This is a program that has continually pumped out 20-plus win seasons, so this 8-7 start kind of uncharted territory for the Lady Reivers out of Iowa Western. Looking at the starting lineup, though, for IW, it'll be De'Ara Davis, a 5'7" sophomore from Omaha, Nebraska, out of Northwest High School, averaging 11 points, 3 rebounds per game. She was just 1 for 6 from the field yesterday against Hutchinson with 3 points, added 4 rebounds and a couple of steals. Summer Blakemore, a 5'6" sophomore or 5'6" freshman from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, averaging in 9 points, 5 rebounds per game. Struggled shooting the ball. She's been up and down throughout the season so far, but was starting to shoot a little bit better until coming to Kansas, where she went 1 for 11 yesterday from the field, finished up with 2 points and 3 assists. Also in the starting lineup, Amy Brett, a 5'8" sophomore from Australia, averaging 3 points, 2 rebounds per game, played 17 minutes, did not start yesterday against the Blue Dragons. Aubriana Nodi, a 6'1" redshirt freshman from Colorado Springs, averaging 10 points, 9 rebounds per game, was 0 for 4 from the field, but went 5 for 10 at the free throw line yesterday for her 5 points, and also added 10 rebounds and a little bit of foul trouble against the Blue Dragons yesterday here at the Sports Arena. And finishing out the starting lineup for the Reivers out of Iowa, it'll be Kiera Dahlman, a 6'2" sophomore from Sheboygan, Wisconsin, averaging 12 points and 6 rebounds per game, leads the team in scoring at those 12 points per contest. The Barton women, a different starting lineup. We've seen the same starting lineup the last 7 games until today, as head coach Alan Clark wanted to go with a little bit more size to face up against some of the talented post players for Iowa Western. It'll be Jalen Stapleton, a 5'5" sophomore from Meade, Kansas, averaging 12 points, 5 rebounds per game. Didn't have to play a whole lot in that blowout victory. Nobody played more than 20 minutes yesterday for the Lady Cougars. Stapleton ended up with 8 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and 3 steals. So filled the stat sheet when she was on the floor. Taylor Regan, 5'10" sophomore from Alberts out of Otis Bison High School, averaging 13 points, 11 rebounds per game. Had 5 points and 5 rebounds yesterday against Ellsworth Community College, and part of that was the reason because a lot of other players are rebounding the ball really well. It'll be Mallory Miller, a 5'9" sophomore, averaging 11 points, 1 rebound per game. Hit 5 3-pointers in the first half, didn't take a shot in the second half. Ended up leading the team in scoring with 15 points. She now has 116 3-pointers made in her career, 82 last year, and is at 34 so far this year. Irene Chukwudi back in that starting lineup, a 6'2" sophomore from Nigeria, averaging 8 points, 6 rebounds per game. She had a solid contest, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and a couple blocks yesterday in the win against Ellsworth. And getting the start this afternoon, it'll be Fatou Dow, a 6'2" sophomore from Senegal, averaging 7 points, 5 rebounds per game. She'll be making her 4th starts of the season, usually seeing Ryan White, but wanting to go with a little bit more size. So Fatou Dow getting the start here this afternoon, the sophomore, averaging 7 points and 5 rebounds per game. Starting lineups brought to you by Romine & Sons Seed Company. Time now for our Keys to the Game, brought to you by the Marmy Auto Group. They got it all. They got you covered in Great Bend, east side, west side of 10th Street, you name it. Marmy Auto Group providing transportation to Hutchinson once again this Saturday afternoon. Catching up with Keisha Watson, assistant coach to the Lady Cougars, with our Keys to the Game.
I think we need to keep them off the offensive boards. We got to be more physical, and we have to handle their pressure.
Yeah, physicality is going to be one of the issues here. Iowa Western is definitely a step up from Ellsworth Community College, the team that Barton blew out by 74 points yesterday. And taking on Iowa Western team usually shoots the ball pretty good at about a 41% clip. They only hit 28% from the field yesterday in the loss, 71-50 to Hutchinson. So Keisha Watson, second-year coach for the Lady Cougars, with our Keys to the Game, brought to you by Marmy Auto Group. We'll take our final break of our Next Tech Wireless pregame show. When we come back, it'll be the tip-off between Barton and Iowa Western for the final day of the Blue Dragon Holiday Classic on B104.3, The Point.
Over 30 years ago, Jerry Steffen started a business that helped people in the oil field find lost tools. Expensive to lose. But when it does happen, call Kansas Fishing Tool, 620-792-6707. They also offer quality tools, rental tools, and exceptional service. Jerry and Karen are proud to sponsor this Cougar broadcast. Kansas Fishing Tool, just south of 10th and Patton Road, Great Bend.
The Odin Store, a legendary meeting place for fuel, food, and adult beverages, is open 7 days a week. The store offers fresh sandwiches, ice-cold beer, and a variety of soft drinks every day. The Odin store is where you'll find friendly folks, stimulating conversation, and kids are always welcome. For your convenience, the Odin store offers a smoke-free atmosphere. Watch games on the big screen TVs while sipping on an adult beverage of your choice. The Odin store in beautiful downtown Odin.
You want it? Marmy Auto Group has it. Central and Western Kansas, we've got the vehicle for you. Marmy Auto Group includes Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Ford and Lincoln, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac. With over 400 new and pre-owned vehicles online at marmys.net, Marmy's Auto Group on 10th has or will locate the new vehicle of your choice. Come in and see the Marmy team for your best deal ever. Marmy's, make it happen.
Next Tech Wireless has plans for every lifestyle, including our new and improved Advanced Pay Plan. Get the nationwide coverage and data you want without a commitment. Plans start at $30 per month, and you can get unlimited everything for as low as $35 per month. Activate a new Advanced Pay Plan and receive a free Moto G4 Play. Or receive your first month free when you purchase a new phone or bring your own phone. 'Tis the season for savings. Visit Next Tech Wireless today. Certain restrictions apply.
Not a whole lot going in the Jayhawk Conference here this Saturday afternoon, as most people waiting until either next Saturday to get the conference schedule started back up. Barton will be at home against Butler Community College. Seward County is playing in Florida this weekend. They have a 1:30 tip-off against North Arkansas College, and then Hutchinson will play in the game right after ours here for the Blue Dragon Holiday Classic, as they'll take on that Ellsworth Community College team that only suited up 6 players in Kansas yesterday against the Lady Cougars. So Barton coming off a win. They've won 4 straight games, including that 101-27 win last night against Ellsworth. Iowa Western coming off a loss to Hutchinson, 71-50. So final game for both these clubs. Lady Cougars will come out in the road black jerseys, blue numbers. Iowa Western in the home white and blue numbers and lettering. Opening tip-off won by the Lady Reivers as they go right to left here in our opening half, right in front of the Barton bench and right in front of us as well, just to the right of head coach Alan Clark and Keisha Watson. Down low, Dahlman misses the shot as Fatu Dow alters that one, and Barton grabs the defensive rebound. Jalen Stapleton, limited action for all the players yesterday in the blowout victory. Push pass goes out to Regan, gets it back along the right side. It drives it with the left, pulls up, 16-footers on his way, and it is pure. Well, Jalen Stapleton, nothing but net from 16 feet. Scoring starts with a jumper from the sophomore from Meade. 2-0, 9:18 to go here in our first quarter. Backing down is Nodi and draws a foul on a outstretched Fatu Dow as she gets the start here this afternoon, making her 4th start so far this season. We've seen Ryan White the majority here in the last 6 or 7 games, but Fatu Dow getting in there, providing some more size against those talented post players from Iowa Western. So Aubrey Nodi at the free throw line for a couple of shots as this one spins out of there, no good. Well, looking at some of the percentages, Iowa Western hitting 41% from the field on the season. Not a great outside shooting team, only at 28%, and free throws have been up and down as well at 61% as a team. Nodi well south of that 61%. Misfires on both of them, but a strong rebound goes off the chest of Dow. Picked up by Nodi, but dribbled it off her knee and stolen away by Chuck Woody. Up ahead, Miller attacking left side, double dribble. Looking for a pass as she was going down on that second dribble and kind of picked it up a little bit. And it'll be a turnover going against the Barton women on top 2-0 with 9:06 to go here in our first quarter. So Barton in their road blacks, wearing their blues yesterday against Ellsworth Community College. Iowa Western, who was wearing their blues yesterday, in their home whites. Starting the attack on the right side of the high post. Nodi, over the head pass, goes back out to Blakemore, the freshman from Minnesota, driving on Stapleton. Jalen cuts her off. Skip pass back out to Davis, attacking down to the corner, 9 to shoot. Here's Dahlman, pump fake, drives in on her man and puts one in off the glass. Kiera Dahlman banks one in along the right baseline to tie this one up at 2s. 8:34 to go here in our first quarter. Stapleton nearly had it poked away. Lob pass into Regan in traffic, trying to go through 2 defenders. Missed it well short. It'll be Blakemore with the rebound. Outlet goes out to Davis. Has it in the near corner. Brings it up top. Dahlman pro hop into the lane. She is attacking at will right now and lays in another one. Head coach Alan Clark trying to urge his defenders to stay down on Dahlman. wanting to get close to the basket, let her shoot from outside. 4-2, Reivers had their first lead of the game. Comes with 8:04 to go in our first quarter. Stapleton, push pass goes right side. Miller, open, deep look. This one shakes off. She knocked down her first 2 looks yesterday against Ellsworth. Misfires on the right wing this time. Here's Iowa Western with the rebound. Down low, Dahlman has Chuck Woody on her. Back out, Davis tries her hand at a three-pointer, strong. And Chuck Woody with a great block out. And the outlet goes out to Stapleton. Floats it up ahead. Miller on the move. Lowers the head, gets down to the left elbow, and shovels it behind her back out to Jaylin. Pump fakes on a 3, doesn't take it. Bounce pass goes down the corner. Regan sizes up the defense, looking to move through the middle lane. Back out to Mallory. On the move she goes. Runner along the baseline. She is fouled, and she'll go to the foul line for 2. That was a tough shot there for Mallory Miller, but got bailed out with a foul on Summer Blakemore, as that'll be her first personal foul. Team's first as well. 7:25 to go first quarter. It is Iowa Western on top by a score of 4-2. As the Lady Cougars try to make it 5 straight wins before heading back into conference play next Saturday at home against Butler, as Miller's free throw is on its way and good. Well, Miller hitting 5 of 7 from outside yesterday, 0 for 1 to start out here this afternoon. The sophomore from Goddard knocks down both the free throws and ties this one up at 4s. 7:25 to go first quarter, and Blakemore starts the offense out on the right side. Goes opposite direction. Davis weaves it back out to Blakemore. Looking down low to Nody. Some pushing and shoving going on down low. And if it's Fatu down, which looks to be the case, that'll be her second personal foul. That was before even the entry pass came into Nody, as Fatu down gets hit with her second personal foul. As Barton looks down at the end of the bench, and DeShonda Hunt will take off her warm-up jersey. Here's Blakemore as they reset the offense. Back to the right side. Amy Brett, three-pointer, clanks off. Jaylin with the rebound. Nearly had it ripped away, and she is tied up. And the Barton fans just below or behind us here in Hutchinson. Pretty good contingent of Lady Cougar fans making the short trip to Hutch. Didn't like that call. Thought it was a reach-in foul against Davis. Instead, it still will be Barton ball, but the alternate possession switches back over to Iowa Western. So DeShonda Hunt comes in the ball game for Fatu Dow, who picked up 2 fouls. DeShonda Hunt, a 6'1 freshman from Oklahoma. Here's Stapleton angling through into the lane. Layup good. Stuck in between a couple defenders, and Jaylin banks one in. She has 4 points. Lady Cougars take the lead right back on top 6-4. Just under 6:40 to go here in the opening period. Amy Brett shades it out to the right side. Nody down low. Dahlman going up against Chuck Woody, and just too easy. Kira Dahlman having a great start here to the first quarter. All 6 of the points for Iowa Western as they tie this one up at 6. Stapleton, chest pass goes back out to Regan. Nice jab to the left, drives right, runner on the baseline will not fall, and Dahlman loses the rebound out of bounds, so Barton will get another chance. Officials here this afternoon brought to you by the 10th Street Eye Care Center. Nancy Tooley, Sugi Coleman, and also Jason King are 3 officials here this afternoon, brought to you by the 10th Street Eye Care Center. Pregame show is brought to you by Next Tech Wireless. Inbounds play goes to Chuck Woody. Quickly goes up with it. Middle of the paint shot off the glass and good for Chuck Woody. She had 10 and 7 yesterday and gives Barton a lead with her first field goal this afternoon. 8-6, 6:07 to go here in the first quarter. Nody backing in on Chuck Woody. She travels with it. Took an extra hop trying to get underneath the rim and shield off Chuck Woody and Hunt. And she has the traveling violation as Barton gets the ball back on top by a pair with 6:03 to go here in our first quarter. Well, Lady Cougars getting into double-digit wins with that blowout victory against Ellsworth yesterday, now sitting at 10-2 on the season. And the way their schedule sets up Jayhawk-wise, they got a good chance to go on a pretty good run. Butler will be really tough next Saturday. Then they have a game at Cloud County as Miller is freed up for a 15-footer. That misses. Rebound Dahlman for Iowa Western. Other than that, they got some very winnable games in the month of January, but then a tough stretch of 3 straight games against Garden, Hutch, and Seward. Chuck Woody blocks a shot from Dahlman down low and sends it out of bounds. She had 2 of those yesterday and has her first rejection here this afternoon. 24 blocks on the season now for Irene Chuck Woody, as she is 3rd in the Jayhawk Conference in block shots. 5:38 to go first quarter. Barton leads it by 2. Iowa Western with the ball, floats it back out. Blakemore deep three-pointer. This one shakes off. Took that one from the Cosmosphere and misfires, and it goes out of bounds on the rebound. So Lady Cougars will get it back. Amy Blake will pick up in the full court against Jaylin Stapleton as Barton outside of DeShonda Hunt yet to sub in right now in a close game. Much difference compared to yesterday as Barton scored the first 9 points, and it was a blowout city right after that. Stapleton dribbles the offense out to the right side. Amy's on her, takes her down the corner. A pass goes off the side of the backboard and out of bounds. Today's game brought to you by Marmy Auto Group, Next Tech Wireless, Bugles Dyke Chiropractic, and Next Tech. 5:16 remaining in the first period. Barton with an 8-6 lead. They scored the first bucket here this afternoon. Iowa Western had a brief 4-2 lead. Tied up at 4s, tied up at 6s, now 8-6 Barton. Miller guarding Amy Brett, back up top. Davis, wide open look, and she buries it from outside. So De'Ara Davis hitting 40% from outside, knocks down her first, and a 9-8 lead for Iowa Western. Inside to Regan, deflected, stolen away by Davis. She has a 3-on-2, down the middle, shifts it out right side. Brett layup, spins out of there, no good. Fight for the rebound, Chuck Woody has it, and a long outlet has Miller on the run. A 1-on-2, Miller stops, pulls up, 15-footer, you betcha. Mallory Miller bangs one in from the right elbow. 4:37 to go first period. Barton takes the lead back, now on top 10-9. That was a good find by Chuck Woody in traffic on the rebound. They doubled and almost triple teamed Chuck Woody after picking up that defensive rebound, and she just flipped one out near midcourt, and Miller took care of the rest. Here's Davis, slides off to the right side, kicks it out in the corner. Brett a three-pointer, knocks it in. Amy Brett hitting just 13% from deep on the season. Has Iowa Western on top 12-10 with a corner three-pointer. 4:05 to go here in the first quarter. Amy Brett was playing against her twin sister yesterday, and that's kind of a cool situation where she was playing against Kelsey Brett, who plays for the Hutchinson Blue Dragons off the bench. Regan drives in, can't finish off the layup, and the rebound out of bounds to Iowa Western. Rochelle Turney set to check in, and she'll replace Mallory Miller. So Rochelle Turney, a 5'10 freshman from Sacramento, California, and Colby Davis set to check in, but first a timeout. 3:52 to go in our first quarter. Iowa Western 12, Barton 10. Back with more from Hutchinson right after this on B104.3 The Point.
Next Tech provides brilliant cyber attack, data breach, rest easy. Next Tech can be your IT manager, your cybersecurity expert, your data storage system, and your hacker defense system. The list goes on and on. We defend, monitor, and respond to issues around the clock, 24/7, so you can be the expert at your business while Next Tech protects it. Next Tech, phenomenal business solutions.
Today's game brought to you by Central Kansas Orthopedic Group, Kansas Fishing Tool, and Sunflower Diversified Services. Blue Dragon Holiday Classic, final day of the Classic. Barton taking on Iowa Western here in Hutchinson as Blakemore starts out the offense here for Iowa Western to the left side. All the way to the baseline, feeds it back out. Davis, crossover dribble on Colby Davis. Runner won't fall. Rebound to Shonda Hunt as she finds her point guard Stapleton as she weaves it up across half court. Guides it out to the right side, looking down the hole. Nobody on the low post. Chuck Woody flashes. Here's a step-back three-pointer by Jay Lynn. Missed it. Colby Davis, offensive rebound, and banks one in on the right side. Well, Colby Davis snaked her way in there, grabbed the offensive rebound, and then had a looping shot to the right side that went in. Davis, who scored 2 points yesterday, matches that total and ties this one up at 12s. 3:07 to go first quarter. Brett, ball overhead, short pass to the top of the arc. Here's Nody, back out to the wing now for Davis. Surveys the defense, rolls off a Nody's screen, floats it back out to Dahlman. On the move, 2 dribbles to the left, draws a foul, shot falls in. Count the bucket. Dahlman goes to the free throw line with her team up by 2. 2:54 to go here in the first quarter. 13th foul whistled against the Lady Cougars. Chuck Woody will have her first personal foul, as Kira Dahlman up to 8 points already here this afternoon. 6'2 sophomore from Wisconsin, averaging 12 points, 6 rebounds per game. She had 13 and 6 yesterday in the loss to Hutch, and she makes good on the three-point play. Biggest lead of the game for either school at 3, 15-12, 2:50 remaining here in the first period. Stapleton puts 3 fingers in the air, runs the offense out to the left corner. Here's Rochelle Turney, her first touch. Crossover dribble, spins along the baseline, lost it, regathers, shot blocked by Nody, and hit out of bounds, staying with the Barton women. Well, Turney, whose shot has been off in the last 5 games, just 3 for 17 from outside for Rochelle Turney, but trying to attack and get to the rim on that drive. Jalen will key things in, lobs it out to Chuck Woody. Middle of the paint shot, won't fall. Rebound snagged by Dahlman. And Iowa Western coming the other way. Up by 3 points, 2:30 to go here in the first quarter. Brett, push pass up top. Here's Dahlman, three-pointer goes down the middle. Well, Kyrie Dahlman, who's only hit 4 3-pointers on the season, is off to a red-hot start down low and now from outside. 18-12, lead grows to 6. Now Davis takes it away from Colby Davis, and De'Ara will lay it in on the other side. So De'Ara Davis took it away from Colby, and now a timeout taken by Barton as they find themselves down by 8 here on the road in Hutchinson on a neutral floor, taking on the Iowa Western Reivers as they trail 20-12 with 2:05 to go here in the first quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds on B104.3, The Point.
Facility upgrades happen. Every team in Barton has been successful at the national or regional level, so let's keep that momentum going. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. That's 620-792-9377. The Cougar Booster Club.
An Iowa Western team here this afternoon that started out this season in the top 25 poll. They quickly fell out when the new poll came out in early December, but they have some talent. They have just played a really tough schedule, and now Jay Lynn coming out of the timeout throws it behind Mallory Miller, who was looking to go to the corner, and she threw it out to the wing. Another turnover going against the Barton women. 1:57 to go in the first quarter. An 8-0 run by Iowa Western after this game was tied up at 12, has them on top 20-12. As Lady Reivers trying to stay above 500 at 8-7 coming into this afternoon's contest against Barton. Into the game for the first time, Haley Moore pulls up for a three-pointer, heels off. Regan skies up, grabs the rebound in traffic, throws it out near midcourt. Jalen underneath the pass, drives it all the way to the basket. Layup falls off, but a foul. And Jalen slams down with two hands in frustration that the shot did not finish, but will go to the foul line for 2 with Barton down by 8. 1:40 to go here in the first period as the foul whistled against Haley Moore. So Haley Moore, a 6-foot freshman from St. Paul, Minnesota, averaging 5 points, 5 rebounds per game. Played 14 minutes yesterday against Hutch, did not score. 0 for 3 shooting, but had 4 rebounds. Here's Jay Lynn at the foul line, already 4 points here in the first quarter. Make it 5 as she sinks the free throw. That'll stop an 8-0 run by Iowa Western. Well, Stapleton sitting 5th in the Jayhawk Conference in assists so far in the season, averaging 4 of those per game. She now has over 200 assists in her career at Barton Community College as she sinks both the free throws and puts herself up to a half dozen. 20-14, Barton down by 6, 1:37 to go first quarter. Iowa Western in their home white jerseys going right to left here in the opening half. Courtside at the sports arena, and Moore travels with it. Just kind of hopped around in between the circles before a pass back out to Blakemore. It'll be a turnover going against the Lady Reivers. Another game after this will have Hutchinson taking on Ellsworth Community College for the final game of the Blue Dragon Holiday Classic. Barton kind of uncharted territory playing right after Christmas. Nice pass, turning from the wing down low to Regan, and she banks one in underneath the defense. So Taylor Regan gets into the scoring column. Barton on a little mini run. Pull back within 4. Nody down low, middle of paint. Pump fake on Turney and shoots over. Barton fans wanting to travel. Another one of those pro hops. Now reaching foul whistle against Blakemore in the backcourt, trying to take it away from Stapleton. So Blakemore, that'll be her second personal foul. Nody, that was her first field goal here this afternoon. 13th foul going against the Lady Reivers. Davis checks back in for Iowa Western as Blakemore will check out. 1:02 to go here in the first quarter. Today's game brought to you by the Cougar Booster Club, Romine & Son Seed Company, and Venture Corporation. The Lady Cougars will be back in Hutchinson towards the end of November, right before the end of the regular season. I think it's the second to last game of the regular season for Barton, as Jay Lynn trying to drive in, cut off, back out to Turney. Couple crossover dribbles, nothing there. Here's Regan, 8 to shoot for Taylor. Makes a move along the baseline, drives against Davis, kicks it back out. Turney, 4 to shoot, open look. Stapleton dead on 3, rims off. Rebound tracked down by Regan, but she steps out of bounds on the inline. That would have pulled Barton back to within 3 points. Jalen unable to knock one down with a straight-on look. 22-16 lead in favor of Iowa Western as Amy Brett sends up the offense now for the Lady Reivers, averaging 68 points per game. Their defense has been good, though, throughout the season, giving up just 62. Skip back Snody, and a deep two-pointer rims off. Irene Chuck-Woody is there for the rebound. Here come the Barton women, down by 6. Open look for Turney, doesn't take it. 8 seconds here in the corner. Down low, great position for Chuck-Woody, and she sends one over the backboard. Got bumped a little bit by Nody. Nothing called. Iowa Western gets the ball back with 4.5 to go. Have to go to length of the court, up by 6. They throw it out near midcourt. Davis grabs it on the run. 3 seconds. Attacks all the way to the basket. Bank shot won't fall. Nody with an offensive rebound, but won't get the shot to go in before the buzzer. So the first quarter comes to a close. It was tied up at 12, but an 8-0 run by Iowa Western, able to separate a little bit at the end of the first. On top, 22-16. Back with the second quarter of the Blue Dragon Holiday Classic in Hutchinson. Right after this on B104.3, The Point.
Bugles Dye Chiropractic, home of the famous purple table.
My purple table, my flexion table, it really helps do a thorough job of stretching everything out, kind of warming up the spine before delivering the adjustment. It works really well on a lot of people, and patients tend to really love having that stretch before receiving that adjustment. It's good to come in and get checked from time to time to ensure that everything is moving as freely as it should and make sure that you're feeling your best.
Walk-ins are welcome at Bugles Dye Chiropractic, 1309 Williams in Great Bend.
Hi, this is Connie, inviting you to attend Sunflower Diversified Services 14th Annual Charity Gala on Saturday, March 2nd, starting at 5:30 at the Great Bend Event Center. You will enjoy an open bar and a catered dinner by the Classic Inn. Sunflower seeks your attendance, monetary donations, and items for silent and live auctions. Call 792-1325 to make a donation or to reserve your seat. Hope to see you on March 2nd to support children and adults with intellectual disabilities.
Night and day from Friday to Saturday for Iowa Western, who only shot 28% from the field against Hutchinson yesterday in a 21-point loss. After the first quarter, they were hitting 53% from the field against the Barton women. They lead at 22-16 as we're ready to go for the second quarter. Lady Cougars hitting a third of their shots, 5 of 15, 0 for 2 from outside. That was something that was falling yesterday against Ellsworth, but a lot more open looks against the Panthers compared to the Reivers here today. Iowa Western with the ball to start out the second quarter. Dahlman back in, pulls up, three-pointer, knocked it down. Kira Dahlman, who, like I mentioned, only hit 4 three-pointers coming into this afternoon's game on the season, has knocked down a pair so far in the first half. 25-16, biggest lead of 9 right now for Iowa Western. Here's Stapleton, has it on the left edge, brings it back out between the rings. Miller, a look from outside, goes down low, Regan. Baseball pass back out to Turney. Three-pointer, bingo. Rochelle Turney knocks one down. She hasn't shot well from outside in the last 5 games, but adds to the percentage on that outside shot. 25-19. Teams exchange threes early on here in the second quarter. Davis grabs it on the left wing, looking down low, goes back to the free throw line. Nody, over the head pass out to Blakemore. Back around the perimeter here for an Iowa Western team that came in at 8-7 on the season. Dahlman down low. Chuck-Woody sends it back and saves it out to Miller. Barton comes the other way, down by 6. Stapleton brings it out right side. Skip pass intercepted by Dahlman. Never saw Dahlman Shirley on the play. Iowa Western with a theft, brings it up in the front court. Back out to the corner. Three-pointer by Blakemore. In and out, no good. Rebound tap back out. Brett has it. Follow-up shot won't fall. Chuck-Woody tips it around. And there's a foul underneath, and I believe, well, both teams clapping right now, but now Iowa Western going the other way. So it goes against the Reivers. This will be whistled on Amy Brett. So that'll be her first personal foul. And the team's first as well here in the second quarter. 8:35 to go in the second frame. Barton had a really good chance after that nice block by Chuck-Woody. Unable to get something going on the other end with that stolen pass. So Dahlman will check out. Haley Moore comes back in, and now for Iowa Western. 8:29 to go in our second quarter. This time this game was already over yesterday against Ellsworth. Much different story against a talented Reivers club from Iowa. Miller trying to make a move, travels with it at the top of the arc. 7 turnovers going against the Lady Cougars so far here this afternoon. These two teams met up a couple years ago in 2016 in Great Bend, a non-conference game, obviously in early November. Barton won that. It was close, though. Here's a deep three-pointer by Davis, heels off. Long rebound, tapped out by Miller, saved on the sideline by Taylor Regan. Now in a trap in the backcourt, throws it behind her out to Miller, runs it up across half court with plenty of time. 8:05 to go. Turney wide open look, looking for back-to-back, missed a three-pointer. Chuck Woody offensive rebound follow-up, shot won't fall from 10 feet, and the rebound tracked down the corner by Blakemore of Iowa Western. Wide open look for Rochelle Turney. Blakemore on the move, stops middle of the paint, back out behind her. Here's Brett, three-pointer, rattles it through. Well, Amy Brett knocking down her second three-pointer. This is an Iowa Western team that only had 5 three-pointers yesterday combined against Hutch. They have 5 already here in the first half. They lead at 28-19 with 7:32 to go until halftime. Miller, far out left wing. Lob pass inside, deflected by Nody. Chuck Woody saves it. And again underneath, Regan's open bank shot goes down. Good find by Jay Lynn as Regan banks one in. 28-21. Barton needs some stops on the other end. 7:14 to go second quarter. Lady Cougars trail up by 7 against an Iowa Western team that started out the season in the top 25. Open look for Brett. Had days to think about it. Missed it. Nody grabs the rebound in traffic, and she is held up by Jay Lynn and just swings her down to the floor. Nody, who grabbed that rebound, and it was with ease against the 5'5 Jalen Stapleton, who was kind of tugging at her from underneath, and just swung back around and tossed Jalen to the floor, but it'll be a foul against Barton on the rebound. 7:01 to go in her second quarter, a timeout taken, and Barton still trails this one, this time by 7. Iowa Western 28, Barton 21, back in 30 seconds on B104.3, The Point.
The Best Western Angus Inn in Great Bend is a perfect place to host your next event. They specialize in wedding dinners and receptions, reunions, holiday parties, meetings and banquets, small and large. They have beautiful honeymoon suites with jacuzzi tubs and king-size beds, perfect for the bride and groom. Call Lacey to set up a tour or set up a block of rooms to accommodate your guests. Don't forget about their indoor pool, Perkins Family Restaurant, and the Page Bistro right next door. Call 620-792-3541 for reservations or stop by the Best Western at 2920 10th Street and take a look around.
Barton coming in with fresh bodies out of the timeout. Connor Keith gets in. Taylor Nichols, Ryan White, Madison Dirks to go along with Rochelle Turney on the floor for the Barton women. 7 minutes to go second quarter. Iowa Western with the ball in a 7-point lead. Brett getting the start here this afternoon. Throws it out to the wing. Brina James also into the contest for the Reivers. There's going to be a reach-in foul going against the Lady Cougars on the drive from Blakemore as it'll be whistled against Connor Keith. That'll be her first personal foul and the team's first as well. Making the second team foul against the Lady Cougars. 6:50 to go here in the second quarter. Going to stay in the act of shooting for Blakemore. So a pair of shots for the freshman from Minnesota. She's hitting 75% from the free throw line on the season and buries the first one. So not a starter out on the floor right now for the Barton women. Going with Turney, Dirks, Nichols, White, and Keith. This one spins out. Ryan White has the rebound. Loose on the floor. Picks it back up. Keith runs it up across half court, starts it out to the left side. Turney jabbing at her defender, lost the dribble, rolls it back out to Keith. Plenty of time to shoot here with the 15 on the shot clock. Here's Madison Dirks, her first look from outside. Passes up top in between the rings. Turney looking to get something going, floats it down low to Nichols. Low block, shot off the glass. This one pops out, and Dahlman has a rebound for Iowa Western. She averages 6 of those per game. 6:21 to go second quarter. Iowa Western on top by 8. Down low. Here's James back out to the wing. Brett angles through to the middle of the paint. Nice bounce pass down low, and James gets an easy one. Good penetration by Amy Brett. Then James was wide open after the double team taken by Barton. 31-21. Barton now down by double figures for the first time. With 5:58 to go, Dirks drives in, angle dribble to the basket and gets it to roll in on the right side and draws the foul. So Madison Dirks to go to the foul line for 1 as this one will be whistled against Amy Brett. That'll be her second personal foul. Dirks ended up with 7 points yesterday on 2 of 6 shooting from outside. Also had 4 assists in that contest. Dirks, a sophomore from Montezuma at South Gray High School, will have 1 free throw coming up. Basket's a necessity right now for the Lady Cougars, trying to keep up with Iowa Western, but more so just trying to prevent any more open looks. Iowa Western's had a lot of good looks either underneath and also some shots from outside, but scouting report would say probably let them shoot. Not a great team shooting percentage from outside. Dirks misfires on the free throw. 31-23. Davis goes coast to coast. Shot rejected by Ryan White and sends it out of bounds in the front row here at the Sports Arena. So not a whole lot of size down low. Taylor Nichols, the tallest one out there for the Lady Cougars, as they take on a talented Dahlman down low. Brett has it in between the rings, looks out to the right, now dribbles it out to the left wing. Davis gathers in the pass. To the left elbow, goes to Dahlman, swings it back around. Davis tries her hand at a three-pointer, nothing but net for De'Ara Davis. Threes are dropping in for Iowa Western this afternoon, 34-23. Regan battling down low against Davis, trying to get position. They draw a foul against De'Ara Davis. So Regan quickly getting back into the contest here for the Lady Cougars. She has Davis on her right now, 5'7" De'Ara Davis against the 5'10" Taylor Regan. Pass goes out to the wing, though, to start out the play from Keith. Here's Dirks on the drive. Misfires on the layup. Rebound tipped around. Dahlman has for Iowa Western. White numbers coming the other way. The white and blue attacking. Now Davis circles it back out to the wing. No look pass, open look. Blakemore's three-pointer, good. They're drilling three-pointers here in Hutchinson after only hitting 5 yesterday. Blakemore with her first field goal, 37-23. Barton down by 14 with 5:03 to go, second quarter. Regan floats it out left wing. Dirks underneath the pass. Throws it behind her out to Connor Keith. Rolls off a Nichols screen. Here's White. Deep three-pointers on his way. Nothing but net. Pulling up from Gowan Stadium. It's going to be Ryan White's knocking down a triple. A much-needed three-pointer. 37-26. Barton pulls it back to within 11, and James will draw a foul on the other end as she went right at Taylor Nichols in the interior part of the defense, as they will get Ryan White. That'll be her first personal foul. So Brina James, a 6-foot freshman from Wisconsin, averaging just 1.1 rebound per game, played 6 minutes yesterday against Hutchinson and clanks off the free throw. That is her first attempt of the entire season at the free throw line. She'll have one more coming up. Miller comes back in for the Barton women, as does Jalen Stapleton and Irene Chuckwoody. They're joined by Regan and Ryan White out on the floor right now. Fatu Dow got the start this afternoon, provides some more size down low, but back to that, well, I guess the original starting five with Ryan White on the floor. James missed them both. Rebound gathered in by Chuckwoody. Stapleton has in the front court for the Barton women, down by 11 here in Hutchinson on a neutral floor against Iowa Western. Regan starts it down the right side, brings it across the high lane. White hesitates on a three. Down low, Chuckwoody spins on Dahlman. Bank shot won't fall, and Kiera has the rebound for Iowa Western. The Reivers bring it up in the front court. Blakemore looking to slice in, kicks it out to Brett. Three-pointer, nothing but nets. Well, there's a clinic right now from outside. Amy Brett hits her third triple of the afternoon. 4:05 to go here in the second quarter. 40-26 lead for Iowa Western. Stapleton, short chest pass, gets it back out to Miller. Blakemore picks up on her. A little pump fake, gets around her. Pull-up jumper, banks off, no good. Rebound tap back out. Stapleton gathers it in. Angles into the lane, missed the layup. Got all the way to the rim, but left it short. Rebound grabbed by Davis of Iowa Western. Slices into the lane, kicks it last second. Blakemore down to the right elbow, throws it behind her. Here's Dahlman splitting two defenders, make it three. Bank shot goes in for Kiera Dahlman. Iowa Western carving up this Barton defense right now, up by 16 with 3:26 to go here in the second quarter. Stapleton sends the offense out to the right side to Miller, pulls up off a screen from Chuckwoody. Three-pointer bounces off. Miller yet to connect from outside. Rebound snagged by Iowa Western. They lead it by 16. 3 minutes to go in our second quarter. Blakemore pulls up for a three-pointer, missed it long. Long rebound out to Jaylin. She'll take her one-on-one right into the chest of Blakemore and lays in a banking layup. So Stapleton up to 8 points after that long rebound, had a one-on-one the other way against Blakemore and got the shot to fall. 42-28, Barton trails it by 14 as we skip under 2:40 to go here in the second quarter. Blakemore looking down low to Dahlman. James flashes, sets a screen. Here's Blakemore rolling off left side, missed a layup. Rebound is snagged by White and then had it knocked loose, and a tie-up will send it back over to the Barton women. So Fatu Dow will get back in the ball game as Iowa Western also sub back in Aubrey Nody. And it'll be Haley Moore getting back in the contest, and Deshonda Hunt will come off the bench back in the contest for the Lady Cougars. Mentioned Barton and Iowa Western played a couple of years ago in 2016. Barton won 79-77. That was a big game for Bailey Robinson. She had 25 points, 10 rebounds in that game. Katrina Rowenfeld added 21 points to the Barton women in that 2-point win. Also played in 2015. Iowa Western won that ball game 65-60. A lot of close games. Miller pump fake, steps into a deep two-pointer. This one skims off. Rebound is gathered in by Dahlman. Here come the Lady Reivers out of Iowa. 2:14 to go in her second quarter, and they have built up a 14-point lead, 42-28. Moore sends it to the top of the arc now for Davis. Looking down low, nobody home. Now reposting is Nodi. Up and under move. Bank shot won't fall. Rebound is corralled by Fatu Dow. Regan brings up the offense now for Lady Cougars. Chest pass goes across the court to Jaylin. Man-to-man defense right now for Iowa Western. Jaylin tough, deep two, left it well short, and the rebound is there for Haley Moore. Western looking to push up ahead. Davis had it deflected on her way up and knocked out of bounds. A good reach in there by Mallory Miller to poke that one out. Otherwise, an easy layup for Davis. Stays with Iowa Western with 1:41 to go here in the second quarter. This one was tied up at 12s with 3:52 to go in the first quarter, but then Iowa Western went on an 8-0 run. They've led ever since. Moore thought about a deep three, instead dribbles it out to the right side. Finally terminates a dribble, backdoor cut. Here's Dahlman, layup missed, but got pushed from behind and on the back of the head. So it'll be a foul against Fatu Dow, who just checked in, picks up her third personal foul. 1:31 to go in her second quarter. Barton still trailing this one 42-28. Mentioned Iowa Western sitting at 8-7 on the season. They got blown out against Hutchinson yesterday afternoon, 71-50, but they played a really tough conference or a tough non-conference schedule as Dahlman sinks the free throw. She's up to 18 points here this afternoon. Lost to Seward County back on November 25th or 24th by 7 points. They lost to Butler by 6 on the 25th. Lost to Labette Community College by 2 back on December 8th. They have played 5 Jayhawk Conference teams coming into this ball game against Barton as Dahlman, knocks down both the free throws. 44-28, lead back up to 16, matching the biggest here for Iowa Western with 1:31 to go here in the second quarter. And now they're going to say Barton stepped over the inline after that made free throw, so Iowa Western is going to get the ball back. Jay Lynn had a quick conversation with the referee, will not get any help there, and now we're going to get a foul called against Barton. And Jay Lynn, she was arguing a little bit, and I don't want to say arguing, but was talking with that referee after they called it against the Barton women. And that same referee, who did not really appreciate Jay Lynn talking to her, saying that her teammate didn't step over the inline to throw things in, went straight up with her hands up, and they draw a foul against Jay Lynn. The same referee made that call, and it'll be Nodi at the free throw line who misfires on the first one. And Nodi goes 1 of 2. And Jay Lynn, all she could do was smile. 45-28, Barton, 46-28. 1:22 to go here in the second quarter. Hunt into the game, throws a pass out to the left wing now to Miller. About 6 feet outside the line, doesn't take the shot. Fatu Dow pulls up for a deep two-pointer and sends it through. Had a foot on the line as Fatu Dow yet to attempt an outside shot. Hits a deep two. 46-30, Barton still down by 16. Final minutes here in the second quarter. James, chest pass out to Davis. She resets the offense with Regan on her. Pulls up for a 16-footer. This one misses. Rebound, Nodi. Putback falls off and a foul. There'll be more free throws coming up for Nodi. As they're killing the Barton women on the offensive glass right now for Iowa Western, as Irene Chuck-Woody will check in for the final 52 seconds. As the foul is whistled against Stapleton, as that'll be her second personal foul. So Nodi tosses up this free throw. This one rolls through. After those free throws by Dahlman, the referee on the far side mentioned the fact that one of the Barton players stepped over the inline. They gave the ball back to Iowa Western. Jay Lynn was arguing that call, or at least talking to the referee, saying it didn't happen that way. And then immediately after that, Jay Lynn with her arms straight up got a whistle blown against her. Coincidence? I don't know. Here's Iowa Western after the missed free throw. Grab another rebound. Shot from 15, missed by Moore. Rebound is there for Regan. 36 seconds to go, second quarter. Barton down by 17 points against an 8-7 Iowa Western team. Stapleton pulls up, shot blocked by Nody at 15 feet. Rebound there for Iowa Western. Up ahead, James. Layup goes in. And Iowa Western is running the floor right now with the Lady Cougars as James gets a shot to go down. Final 20 seconds. Lady Cougars can take the final shot, down by 19 points right before halftime. Jaylin has along the left edge, 8 to shoot, takes it down the elbow, circles it back out to the top of the arc. 5 seconds, Regan looking down the hole, nobody there. 2 seconds, try to pass it to Chuck Woody, and Bart will not get a shot off before the end of the first half. Well, halftime is here in Hutchinson for the Blue Dragon Holiday Classic, and after it's tied up at 12s early on in the first quarter, all Iowa Western as they take a commanding 19-point lead in the locker room, 49-30. We'll start the Next Tech halftime show in 2 minutes on B104.3, The Point.
Tonight's halftime show powered by Next Tech, your trusted business and IT solutions partner at 10th and Grant, Great Bend. We'll be right back. It's Cougar basketball on B104.3, The Point.
Next Tech provides brilliant business intelligence. That means if your network goes down or computer quits, you won't have to panic. Cyber attack, data breach, rest easy. Next Tech can be your IT manager, your cybersecurity expert, your data storage system, and your hacker defense system. The list goes on and on. We defend, monitor, and respond to issues around the clock, 24/7, so you can be the expert at your business while Next Tech protects it. Next Tech, phenomenal business solutions.
The 10th Street Eye Care Center offers professional eyewear for every member of your family. Dr. Russ McCauley, Dr. Chad Premer, Dr. Nicole Miller, and Dr. Sarah Steeder take the time to listen, understand, and explain all available options and vision needs. Along with their courteous staff, they provide the service, personalized care, and value that's difficult to find. The 10th Street Eye Care Center on the sunny side of the Vision Quarter, 10th and Washington, Great Bend, and in Russell. New patients welcome. Call 620-792-2020 for the 10th Street Eye Care Center.
Over 30 years ago, Jerry Steffen started a business that helped people in the oil field find lost tools. Since 1982, Kansas Fishing Tool has offered downhole recovery of tools that are way too expensive to lose. But when it does happen, call Kansas Fishing Tool, 620-792-6707. They also offer quality tools, rental tools, and exceptional service. Jerry and Karen are proud to sponsor this Cougar broadcast. Kansas Fishing Tool, just south of 10th and Patton Road, Great Bend.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with over 45 years of experience in asphalt paving and construction. Venture is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Dean Nuss for all details, 620-792-5921. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South 281 Great Bend, an equal opportunity employer.
Now what the doctor ordered for the final non-conference game of the season for Barton Community College at halftime anyway. Lady Cougars down to Iowa Western by a score of 49-30 as we reach halftime. Brought to you by the Next Tech Group in Great Bend as they bring us our halftime show again here on B104.3 The Points and GreatBendPost.com. Cole Reif with you. It is Eddie Galvin as our producer at the KVGB studio in Great Bend. That was a pretty good start for the Lady Cougars, kind of going back and forth with Iowa Western in the first 5 minutes here this afternoon as it was tied up at 2s, 4s, 6s, and then tied up at 12s. That was the final tie of the first half. That's when Iowa Western went on an 8-0 run at 2:05 to go in the first quarter. They led 20-12, eventually had a 6-point lead at the end of the first quarter on top 22-16. Outscored Barton 27-14 in the second quarter to build up a 19-point lead at halftime, 49-30. Pretty good defense for Iowa Western. Haven't seen a ton of great looks for the Lady Cougars, but I guess more disappointingly for the Lady Cougars in the first half, Iowa Western, not only are they getting some really good looks underneath, just penetrating on the transition buckets, but also knocking down three-pointers. For a team that has not shot the three ball overly well throughout the season and struggled yesterday against Hutchinson, They ripped the bottom of the net with those 3 balls in the first half here this afternoon. Some of them open, some of them fairly contested, but regardless, Iowa Western knocking down shots, and it becomes pretty simple after that and building up a 19-point lead here at halftime at 49-30. Jalen Stapleton leads the way for Lady Cougars. She has 8 points, and Akira Dahlman, who was just a one-woman wrecking crew early on, finished up with 19 points at the break. So Barton will have some work to do in the second half if they want to win their 5th straight game, as they trail this one 49-30 to Iowa Western here for the Blue Dragon Holiday Classic in Hutch. We'll run through some more of those numbers right after this on B104.3 The Point.
Bugles Dyke Chiropractic, home of the famous purple table.
My purple table, my flexion table, it really helps do a thorough job of stretching everything out, kind of warming up the spine before delivering the adjustment. It works really well on a lot of people, and patients tend to really love having that stretch before receiving that adjustment. It's good to come in and get checked from time to time to ensure that everything is moving as freely as it should and make sure that you're feeling your best.
Walk-ins are welcome at Bugles Dyke Chiropractic, 1309 Williams in Great Bend.
The 10th Street Eye Care Center offers professional eyewear for every member of your family. Dr. Russ McCauley, Dr. Chad Premer, Dr. Nicole Miller, and Dr. Sarah Steeder take the time to listen, understand, and explain all available options and vision needs. Along with their courteous staff, they provide the service, personalized care, and value that's difficult to find. The 10th Street Eye Care Center on the sunny side of the Vision Corner, 10th and Washington, Great Bend, and in Russell. New patients welcome. Call 620-792-2020 for the 10th Street Eye Care Center.
Hutchinson and Ellsworth Community College will be the final game of the Blue Dragon Holiday Classic this Saturday afternoon in Hutchinson, as that'll tip off around 3 o'clock or right after our game, as Lady Cougars trailing at halftime to Iowa Western in this Iowa versus Kansas matchups, as Barton trails by 19 at the break, 49-30. Mentioned an Iowa Western team that's played the difficult schedule, as they've gone all over the country. They've not been afraid to travel, and that kind of happens in Iowa a lot. Trying to find other community colleges to play becomes a little bit difficult as you look at some of the regions down there. And actually, some of the regions, including Region 11, only has 3 teams in Region 11. So you look at it as far as a region champion, and it's really considered the district champion because they have to combine some of those regions before they send one of those automatic bids into the national tournament. So you get some of those clusters in the northeast part of the country and other areas throughout the country that don't have a whole lot of junior colleges, and you start to travel a little bit more. So imagine that budget has to be a little bit higher for Iowa Western making the trip down to Hutchinson. Not terrible because they're right on the western border of Iowa, right near Nebraska, in Council Bluffs, Iowa, about 315 miles away from Hutchinson, about a 5-hour drive. And they got a lot of good facilities, and they have a lot of good programs for Iowa Western. And right now their women's team is looking pretty good. After losing by 21 yesterday to the 6th-ranked team in the country, they are taking it to the Barton women on top 49-30 at the break. Lady Cougars led in scoring by Jalen Stapleton. She ended up with 8 points, 6 of the 8 coming in the first quarter. Other scores for the Barton women: 3 for Rochelle Turney. Ryan White hit a 3-pointer. 4 points for Taylor Regan. 2 for Fatu Dow getting the start here this afternoon. Madison Dirks added 2. Colby Davis has 2. Mallory Miller has 4. Was unable to hit a shot from outside after hitting 5 deep balls yesterday against Ellsworth. And Irene Chuck-Woody ended up with 2 points in the first half. Iowa Western, you have to start right at Kiera Dahlman. She finished up with 19 points at halftime. 4 points for Aubrey Nody, 9 points for Amy Brett, who hit 3 3-pointers. Coming into this afternoon's game, Amy Brett was 3 for 23 from outside, hitting 13%. She matches her season total of 3-pointers made in the first half against the Barton women, finishing up with 9 points. Brina James had 4 points for Summer Blakemore, and Adira Davis ended up with 8 points, knocking on a couple of shots from outside. Mentioned the Lady Reivers out of Iowa, who hit 5 of 19 from outside against Hutchinson yesterday afternoon. They hit 8 3-pointers in the first half. Not a good recipe for the Barton women as they trail by 19 at halftime, 49-30. More of the Next Tech halftime shows coming up after this on B104.3 The Point.
is growing at Central Kansas Orthopedic Group, offering patients of all ages rehabilitation services for a variety of conditions, injuries, and physical impairments. In addition to Troy Moore and Jamie Mayer, Central Kansas Orthopedic Group has added 2 new doctors of physical therapy, Jake Thompson and Adam Christek, and a new speech therapist, Brianna Sawyer-Winnie. With state-of-the-art facilities, Central Kansas Orthopedic Group provides exceptional treatment from a qualified team of experts. Central Kansas Orthopedic Group, K96 and Broadway, Great Bend.
The 10th Street Eye Care Center offers professional eyewear for every member of your family. Dr. Russ McCauley, Dr. Chad Premer, Dr. Nicole Miller, and Dr. Sarah Steeder take the time to listen, understand, and explain all available options and vision needs. Along with their courteous staff, they provide the service, personalized care, and value that's difficult to find. The 10th Street Eye Care Center on the sunny side of the Vision Corner, 10th in Washington, Great Bend, and in Russell. New patients welcome. Call 620-792-2020 for the 10th Street Eye Care Center.
Next Tech halftime show continues on B104.3 The Points at the Sports Arena in Hutchinson for the Blue Dragon Holiday Classic. Barton trails Iowa Western 49-30. Close games the last 2 times these teams met up, including 2 years ago, 2016. Barton won by 2 in Great Bend, 79-77. Last loss to Iowa Western, don't have to go too far, 2015, the year before, as Iowa Western won 65-60 back on November 27th of 2015. Jaleesa Jones, former Lady Cougar, she had 19 points in that ball game, and Barton fell by 5 points, 65-60. And right now, well, not overly close. Iowa Western on top by 19 at the break, 49-30 here at halftime. Looking at some of the other numbers here in the first half, Barton shot 38% from the field, 12 of 32. Only 6 attempts from outside. They went 2 for 6. They knocked down 11 three-pointers yesterday, but as I mentioned, much different as far as the defenses they are facing. They had a lot of wide-open looks against Ellsworth yesterday here in Hutch. Barton went 5 of 6 at the free throw line, out-rebounded by 6 at the break, 24-18 edge for Iowa Western. Barton had 6 assists on their 12 made field goals, turned the ball over 8 times, and had 4 blocks, including 2 by Chuck Woody. Lady Cougars led in scoring by Jalen Stapleton, who ended up with 8 points. Iowa Western, who didn't go overly deep on that bench for head coach Lindsey Vanderhoof, ended up with 16 of 35 from the field. That was good for 46%. 8 for 14 from outside at 57%. As a team, coming in, they were hitting 28% from outside. They shoot 57% in the first half, knocking down 8 of 14. They're 7 of 13 from the free throw line, plus 6 on the glass, and ended up with 11 assists on their 16 made field goals and turned the ball over just 5 times. Led in scoring by Kira Dahlman, 17 points officially for her, 6 of 9 from the field, including 2 for 2 from outside. 8 points for De'Ara Davis, 4 for Summer Blakemore, 4 points for Brina James, 9 for Amy Bretz, and 5 points for Aubrey Nody. Let's look at the halftime numbers. We'll take one final break in the Next Tech halftime show. Back with the second half in Hutchinson for the Blue Dragon Holiday Classic on B104.3 The Point.
You've been listening to the Next Tech Halftime Show. Next Tech, your trusted business and IT solutions partner. Stay tuned. The second half is next. It's Cougar Basketball on B104.3 The Point.
Roman & Son Seed Company is proud to feature the starting lineup of Syngenta products. Golden Harvest, corn, and NK soybeans. See what's winning in the ground you're working with the help of Syngenta and Roman & Son Seed Company. Call Kent at 620-793-2985. That's 620-793-2985. Price and compare before your next purchase. Ken would appreciate the opportunity to work with you for all your seed needs. Roman & Son Seed Company, Great Bend.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with over 45 years of experience in asphalt paving and construction. Venture is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Dean Nuss for all details, 620-792-5921. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South 281 Great Bend, an equal opportunity employer.
Marmy's in Great Bend has the largest inventory of new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram units in central and western Kansas. Marmy's has drastically reduced the prices on every new unit in stock during the Big Finish event going on during the month of December. The largest rebates of the year, along with the largest Marmy's discounts of the year, equals the best buys of the year. Hurry into Marmy's now and take advantage of these huge discounts on all new units in stock, or visit marmys.net to view their complete new inventory, all with prices slashed to the bone.
The Odin Store, a legendary meeting place for fuel, food, and adult beverages, is open 7 days a week. The store offers fresh sandwiches, ice-cold beer, and a variety of soft drinks every day. The Odin Store is where you'll find friendly folks, stimulating conversation, and kids are always welcome. For your convenience, the Odin Store offers a smoke-free atmosphere. Watch games on the big screen TVs while sipping on an adult beverage of your choice. The Odin Store in beautiful downtown Odin.
Barton with their biggest deficit all season long comes at halftime against Iowa Western, down by 19 points, 49-30. As the Lady Cougars didn't shoot overly well, but the biggest thing was Iowa Western was red hot, 57% from outside, 8 of 14. After knocking down 5 3-pointers yesterday against Hutch, lit it up in the first half. Iowa Western will start out with the ball as they go left to right in their home white jerseys here in Hutchinson for the Blue Dragon Holiday Classic. Barton in their road blacks. Up top, Dahlman quickly goes down low to Nodi. Over the top of Fatu, down, missed it short, and Fatu grabs the rebound. Lady Cougars right to left. Miller guides up the offense, dribbles it down the far corner. Davis picks her up in this man-to-man defense. They rotate around to Taylor Regan. 5 points for Regan in the first half. Sends it down the corner. Miller, low block touch now for Dow. 2 dribbles, spins on Nodi and gets a runner to fall in. So Fatu Dow gets a field goal to drop. A good start for the Lady Cougars, 49-32. Played 40 seconds here in our third quarter. Brett sends a pass out to the right side. Blakemore goes down low. Nodi spins on Dow, missed it strong, and Dahlman hit the rebound out of bounds, but it stays with Iowa Western. And again, Barton fans wanting an over-the-back call, or at least pushing into the Barton defender, Fatu Dow and Chuck Woody, as Dahlman looked like she hit it last. Instead, it stays with the Lady Reivers as they throw it up top. And Blakemore thought about a D3 as Stapleton stays down. Instead, pass out to the wing. Davis trying to find a driving lane, unable to do so. Here's Brett, slapped away by Chuck Woody, comes up with a steal. Up ahead, Stapleton, 2-on-2. Stapleton stops, pulls up, 15-footer goes down for Jalen Stapleton. So 4 straight points here for Lady Cougars to start out the second half, 49-34. Brett, chest pass goes from wing to point, back out to the left edge. Blakemore down to the free throw line. Here's Brett along the baseline, gets around Miller. Runner won't fall. Dow had the rebound, poked away, but Chuck Woody grabs it. Leads up ahead. Jay Lynn gets underneath, goes up, dishes last second. Open layup. Regan, you got it. Well, Jay Lynn, who thought about the contested layup, had a wide open Taylor Regan as 2 Reivers went to her, and Regan lays it in. 6 straight for Lady Cougars, and they're back to within 13. 49-36, 8:13 to go here in the third quarter. Brett calls out the play, in between the rings, throws it to the high post, gets it back from Dahlman. Ball on her hip, sends it up top. Blakemore deep 3 is on his way. This one shakes off. Rebound grab by Mallory Miller. Barton women with the ball, trying to extend a 6-0 run. Down low to Dow. Gets around 1 defender, spins on Dahlman. Tough shot, left is short. In there for the rebound is Regan. Bounce pass back out to the baseline. Chuck Woody, hook shot, falls off to the right, and Davis grabs it for Iowa Western. Well, Barton giving Iowa Western a little dose of their own medicine as Davis takes it coast to coast. No one picks her up and lays it in. Faked the pass out to the wing, but never had any intention on throwing it out. And Davis gets an easy pair. That'll stop a 6-0 run here in the third quarter. 51-36, Barton down by 15. 7:25 to go here in the third frame. Regan far out on the wing, right-handed dribble to the free throw line, runs into a 15-footer, falls long, and the rebound by Nodi. Then a reach-in foul is going to be whistled on Regan, trying to take it away from Nodi. As for Taylor, that'll be her first personal foul, and team's first as well. Haley Moore checks in for Iowa Western as Nodi comes out. Ryan Whites will react to that substitution, hop off the bench, and now come in for the Barton women as Regan will check out. That was the second personal foul on Taylor Regan. So Barton scored first here tonight or this afternoon, but it was back and forth in the first 6 minutes of the ball game before Iowa Western went on an 8-0 run towards the end of that first quarter. Never really looked back since. Good start for the Barton women, but need to stop here on this time down. Here's Davis, has it at the head of the circle, dribbles it out to the right. Brett comes off a weaving motion, trying to attack Miller. Instead, skips a pass out to Blakemore. Down the corner, Dahlman, 8 to shoot for Iowa Western. Big lead for the Reivers here, and Hutchinson traveling violation against Dahlman as she slid in along the baseline. They only had 5 turnovers in the first half, but they give the ball back to the Barton women with 6:50 to go third quarter. Lady Cougars down 51-36. A little cluster of Barton fans across the way in the blue seats here at the sports arena. Goes blue, red, and yellow near the top here at the sports arena. And a good section behind us here as well. Chuck Woody out on the left flank, brings it back top of the arc. White down low to Dow, through a double team, turns, cannot hit on a hook shot. Rebounds there for Dahlman. A little bit too far out there for Fatu Dow on that hook shot, about 10 or 11 feet away. Dahlman brings the offense out to the right side, still on the perimeter here for Davis, jabbing at Ryan White, doesn't move, chest pass back out to Brett. Closing in on 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Dahlman lost it, got it back, but a reach-in foul whistled against the Lady Cougars. As Jalen Stapleton reaching down on Dahlman, and that referee, that's Jalen's favorite ref here this afternoon, getting another personal foul on the sophomore from Meade, as that'll be her 3rd personal foul. So Connor Keith will come to the scorer's table here in Hutch as she checks in for Jalen. 6:10 to go in her third quarter. Barton down by 15 after trailing by 19 at halftime, 51-36. But Iowa Western with the ball. Inbounds play to Nody, banging bodies, now in a triple team. Gets out of it with a pass, but it's loose, but it's deflected. It'll be a reach and foul against the Barton women. So Chuck Woody coming over the top of Haley Moore. They're going to get a foul on Fatu Dow. That was away from the ball. And for Fatu, that's going to be her 4th personal foul. So Fatu will have to come out of the ball game. Deshaunda Hunt comes back in as Barton still sticking with some more of that size down low. Inbounds play, Nody, bank shot goes down. Just muscled her way through a couple Barton defenders, 53-36. Just under 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. White rolling off for a screen, pulls up for a three-pointer and splashes it through. Oh, Ryan White connects on her 2nd three-pointer here this afternoon. 53-39, Barton down by 14. 5:41 to go here in the third stanza. Blakemore trying to wiggle her way in the lane. Tough shot on Keith on the step back. I know Barton fans wanted a traveling violation. They will not get it, but the rebound goes out of bounds to the Lady Cougars. So Barton in their road black jerseys in Hutchinson. They'll be back at the sports arena towards the end of February to take on the now 6th-ranked team in the country. Man, did they look good yesterday against Iowa Western. And really stretched out that lead near halftime and really put it on them in the second half. Went on to beat them 71-50. And held a pretty good Iowa Western shooting team to 28% from the field. Hutch is just so good and they're so deep this year. That second 5 comes in. They probably could start for most teams in the nation. Entry pass to Deshaunda Hunt is deflected and stolen away. Barton their 9th turnover here this afternoon. Lady Reivers bring it up in the front court with Blakemore. Rolls off a James screen. Here's Haley Moore out on the left wing. Gives the ball back out to Davis. Ryan White picks her up in this man-to-man. Drives her to the right side. Shot rejected by Chuck Woody as she could have blocked it with her elbow here at the sports arena as it goes out of bounds to stay with Iowa Western. Well, Davis was going into no man's land right there up against Irene Chuck Woody on the low block, and Irene said not a good idea. Her 3rd block here this afternoon. Davis was initially coming out. Instead, it'll be James who checks out, and Brett comes back in the ball game, and now for the Reivers. Iowa's ball, they go down low to Nody, has a shot go off the side of the backboard, gets it right back, follow-up won't fall, and then Deshaunda Hunt grabs the rebound for the Lady Cougars on the weak side. Keith running the show with Stapleton out with those 3 fouls. Sends the offense out to left wing. Barton down by 14 here in Hutch. White on the move. Tough layup, no good, but a whistle will send Ryan White to the foul line. Blakemore and Nody were over there. And the foul's going to be whistled against Aubrey Nody. Just her 1st personal foul and the team's 1st as well. So Barton getting to the free throw line, down 53-39 with 4:45 to go in this third quarter. You got to think one of the main goals here to finish this third quarter, if they could be even within 10, 9, 8, that margin, you feel pretty good. But White misfires on the first free throw with one more coming up. Conference play starts back up for Lady Cougars a week from today as they'll have a home game against Butler. In fact, 3 of their next 4 games will be at home as White sends down the second of 2. 53-40. Barton within a baker's dozen. Brett swings it around left side. Here's Davis for Iowa Western in their home white jerseys in Hutch. Skip pass goes out to Blakemore. Trying to go one-on-one with Connor Keith, and there's going to be a whistle away from the ball going against the Lady Cougars. And again, against the Barton fans' favorite referee here this afternoon. That's going to go against Irene Chuck-Woody down low, trying to push around down there on the big Kiera Dahlman. 6'2" sophomore from Wisconsin. Step back three-pointer by Dahlman. This one rolls off, and White grabs the rebound. She hit 2 of those in the first half, and maybe the percentage is starting to come back down to earth. Down in the corner, the drive by Miller all the way to the basket. Had a block from behind, but tips it back out to Chuck-Woody, and she pulls up for a runner, and it is off the mark, but a traveling violation first against Chuck-Woody. Tonight's game brought to you by Marmy Auto Group, Next Tech Wireless, Bugles Dye Chiropractic, and Next Tech. Timeout in Hutchinson here at the Blue Dragon Holiday Classic. Barton women cutting in the lead a little bit, down by 13. 53-40 to Iowa Western with 4:15 to go in our third quarter. Back in 30 seconds on B104.3, The Point.
Booster Club, right? Ever wonder just what the heck they do? They support all the Cougar athletic teams and help make equipment and facility upgrades happen. Every team in Barton has been successful at the national or regional level, so let's keep that momentum going. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. That's 620-792-9377. The Cougar Booster Club.
Reivers ball out of Iowa is coming out of the timeouts on top 53-40. Connor Keith picking up Blakemore. She sends up the offense. Pass up top, Davis angles through the lane, kicks it out to the corner. Brett runner from inside the arc, missed it, and there's a foul on the rebound going against Iowa Western. And a sarcastic applause for the referee crew here at Hutchinson as they wanted that over the back call a long time ago, and they do get this one against Haley Moore, her second. So Barton gets the ball back, down 53-40 as we skip under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Keith looking over to the right, comes off a screen, floats it down low to Shonda Hunt off the glass and good. What a beautiful sequence from Connor Keith to DeShonda Hunt. Ran up to perfection, 53-42. 3:38 to go here in the third quarter. Brett running the show right now, sends a pass to Davis, gets it back with new dribbles. Now to the left wing it goes to Dahlman. And Dahlman clears everybody off. Goes to the elbow. Here's Blakemore in. Kicks it back out to Brett. Three-pointer good. We were hoping they would cool off from outside after hitting 8 three-pointers in the first half. But Amy Brett has her 4th three-pointer of the afternoon. That was big for Iowa Western as Barton was getting a little bit closer. 56-42. White, step back three, far corner, can't answer. Rebound, tap back out, but Blakemore takes it for Iowa Western. She has numbers, 2-on-2, stops middle of paint, finds a trailer, and gets it back. And Dahlman will restart the offense now. Still plenty of time to shoot, 20 on that shot clock, as Moore works the offense out to the left side. Here's Blakemore, down low, Dahlman makes a spin move on Chuck-Woody and draws a foul. And Chuck-Woody's got to be careful after slamming that ball in frustration, as Irene will have her 3rd personal foul. Comes with 2:48 to go in our third quarter. Barton down 56-42. So Kiara Dahlman, 19 points at halftime, yet to score here in the second half until this free throw, as she gets into the 20-point club and puts her team up 57-42. So Barton had it within 11 at 53-42, but 4 straight now by Iowa Western, with one more free throw coming up for the sophomore from Sheboygan. 2:48 to go here in the third quarter, on its way and good. She has not been a typically good free throw shooter on the season, but perfect so far this afternoon on 5 attempts. 58-42, and lead back up to 16 now for Iowa Western, as Stapleton will check back into the contest. So Keith stays out on the floor. It'll be Connor bringing up the offense. Jay Lynn running the 2 spot. Ryan White's the other guard. Deshaun Hunt and Chuck Woody down low. They go to Hunt, backing in on her defender. Rolls off on a run on the low block. Rebound Nody. Iowa Western going left to right in the white and blue. Davis has along the left baseline. White cuts her off. Down low to James, quickly back outside to Nody. Nearly traveled with it, picking up that pivot foot, but able to toe that one down. Brett on the wing. Entry pass goes out to Nody. Swings it around. Open shooter. Blakemore lets it fly. Left is short. And Stapleton has the rebound looking to run. Stops at half court. Crosses over Blakemore. Takes her down the free throw line. And circles it back out to the wing. Then knocked out of bounds. Staying with the Barton women. Today's game brought to you by The Odin Store and the 10th Street Eye Care Center to go along with the Best Western Angus Inn. Barton trying to make it 5 straight wins, but in order to do so this afternoon, they'll have to come with a big rally. Down 58-42 with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Rolling off a screen, Keith three-pointer, nobody home. Hunt tracks down the rebound in the far corner. Floats it back out to Stapleton, 7 feet outside the arc, and restarts the offense with 1:50 to go to the end of the third quarter. An illegal screen whistled against Chuck Woody, trying to free up her point guard, and that'll be her 4th personal foul. And coming off the bench will be Taylor Regan. So Dow has 4 fouls, Chuck Woody has 4 fouls, Stapleton has 3, White will check out, Rochelle Turney comes in now for the Lady Cougars. 1:50 to go in our third quarter. Barton was making some splashes here in the third quarter, had it within 11, but now a 5-0 run by Iowa Western, putting that lead back out to 16. Blakemore weaves it out right side, quickly skips it down to Davis in the corner, dribbles in, pull-up jumper good by Davis. 60-42, Hunt gives it out to Turney, pulls up middle lane, won't fall, rebound Iowa Western. Reivers coming the other way, Stapleton comes up with a theft and is knocked to the floor. And quickly helped up by Davis as she knocks down Jay Lynn out near midcourt, and for Davis that'll be a personal foul. That'll be her 2nd personal foul. And Barton is into the bonus here for the final 1-2. Actually, Barton has 5 team fouls, just the 3rd on Iowa Western. So keyed in near half court. Stapleton awaiting the pass, but now it's going to go back out to Connor Keith. Final 80 seconds of the third quarter. A good start to the third frame is not really going to show up much here for a bad 2-minute stretch for Lady Cougars. Stapleton, short pass out to Keith, looking to drive left side. Instead, a step back 3-pointer rattles home for Connor Keith. She hit 3 of those in the fourth quarter yesterday and hits her first here this afternoon. 60-45, final 58 seconds of the third quarter. Like I said before, you'd love to get it close to 10. I don't know if Barton's going to have a chance to do that down by 15 right now, as Iowa Western looking to take some time off the clock with Blakemore dribbling it into the floor here at the Sports Arena out near midcourt. Shot clock down to 9. Stapleton out near the three-point line, ready to pick her up. On the move on a Nody screen, back out to Davis. Open look, three-pointer. This one shakes off, no good. Nody had the rebound go out of bounds, but there's a whistle, and it whistles against Iowa Western. It'll be Barton ball. 2.8 difference between the shot and game clock here to finish off the third stanza. Barton down by 15 points, 60-45. Keith hit a 3 the last time down. They could use another one of those as Stapleton runs the show. And she's looking to wind this one down. Looks over to head coach Alan Clark and Keisha Watson just to the left of us here at the Sports Arena. Courtside in Hutchinson. Cole Reif with you. Eddie Galvin, our producer at the KVGB studio back in Grape Inn. Holiday Classic for the Blue Dragons here in Hutchinson. Down to 7. Stapleton goes to work. Pump fake. Doesn't find a shot. Back out to Turney. Three-pointer. Bang! Rochelle Turney knocks it in with 2 seconds to go to finish off the third quarter, and that will do it. And Barton with that three-pointer pulls back to within 12. Down by 19 at halftime. Back down to 12 as we have one more quarter coming up. Iowa Western 60, Barton 48. Back in a minute on B104.3, The Point.
Provides brilliant business intelligence. That means if your network goes down or computer quits, you won't have to panic. Cyber attack, data breach, rest easy. Nextech can be your IT manager, your cybersecurity expert, your data storage system, and your hacker defense system. The list goes on and on. We defend, monitor, and respond to issues around the clock, 24/7, so you can be the expert at your business while Nextech protects it. Nextech. Phenomenal business solutions.
The Best Western Angus Inn is the best place in central Kansas to send your friends, family, or business associates this day when they're away from home. Best Western Angus Inn in Great Bend offers deluxe king rooms with a sofa sitting area or spacious doubles where you'll have access to high-speed internet. Relax in the indoor heated pool and hot tub. Enjoy the best drinks and steaks in town at the Page Bistro or have a filling breakfast at Perkins Family Restaurant. Stop by 2920 10th Street for a tour or call 620-792-3541 and make your reservations today.
Winning the quarter game, Barton outscored Iowa Western 18-11 in the third quarter. They pulled back to within 12. 60-48, the team from Iowa with the lead as we get ready to go in the fourth quarter. Today's game brought to you by Sunflower Diversified Services, Kansas Fishing Tool, and Central Kansas Orthopedic Group. Hutchinson, the 6th ranked team in the country, still undefeated. They'll be playing against Ellsworth Community College. Tip off around 3 o'clock here in Hutch for the final game of the Blue Dragon Holiday Classic. Barton with the ball to begin the fourth quarter. Keith has on the right side, trying to get around Rochelle Turney, able to do so with the pass now to Stapleton here on the left edge. Brings it back out in between the rings. 10 to shoot now for Lady Cougars. Illegal screen going against the Barton women. Are going to stay here. Yeah, it goes against Taylor Regan. Third personal foul on Taylor Regan on that illegal screen, and that's probably been the biggest question mark. And I'm not saying it is right one way or wrong the other way, just as far as what is the rule, because we've seen a lot of different calls on those screens. Sometimes they want them to be really big on those screens, and now Rochelle Turney knocks over our Lady Reaver in the middle lane, just trying to fight through and gets hit with a foul. So Rochelle Turney trying to get through the lane to follow her defender, knocked one over away from the ball, and it gets hit with a foul. So that'll be her first, but more importantly, that's the second team foul in the first 31 seconds of the fourth quarter. Iowa Western keyed in, Nody down low, dribbled it off her knee, and it's going to be an offensive foul going against Lady Cougars. So an offensive foul whistled against Aubrey Nody. This referee crew has heard it from the Barton fans behind us here this afternoon in Hutchinson. 9:27 to go, fourth quarter, 60-48. As Barton gets the ball back, as Stapleton gets it up across that Blue Dragon logo in Hutchinson. Big arena, the biggest by far in the Jayhawk Conference. Turney on the move on the baseline. Tough runner goes down. Rochelle Turney hitting from outside. This time puts it on the floor twice and pulls Barton within 10. Down low to Nody. Gets around to Shonda Hunt. Too easy. Bank shot goes in. Just gave her a little shoulder fake and went right around to Shonda Hunt. Nody gets a bucket. So 62-50. Barton down by 12 again. As Rochelle Turney comes and gets the ball. Hot hand right now. Turney, a little shake and bake to the free throw line. Takes her to defender in the lane. Runner falls off. Rebound grabbed by Dahlman as she swings through with an elbow. 8:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Dahlman brings up the offense before a short pass goes out to Davis. Down the corner, Blakemore pump fakes on a D3. Nody along the baseline, skip pass back up top now to Dahlman. Along the perimeter here for Iowa Western, up 62-50, under 8:25 to go. Tough shot by Blakemore, missed a layup, and a rebound is there for Jalen Stapleton, and they're going to call her with a travel. Her and Taylor Regan were kind of bumping into each other a little bit, and they call Stapleton with a traveling violation. It gives it back over to Iowa Western. Alan Clark is hot. He's out near midcourt right now. Allen can't believe the fact that they're going to call that in the backcourt with her and Stapleton running into each other. It looked like Jalen still had both feet solidly on the ground. It's been a lot of tough calls against the Barton women here this afternoon. Brett has along the right edge. Iowa Western trying to take advantage. There's Dahlman underneath. Another whistle sounds at the sports arena, and it goes against the Lady Cougars. This one will be whistled against Rochelle Turney underneath as Iowa Western will go to the free throw line with 8:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. 12-point lead right now for the Reivers out of Iowa. They got a 5-hour trip down to Hutchinson for a couple of games. Got smoked by a Hutch yesterday as Dahlman, who stays perfect at the free throw line, hits this one. Barton won the matchup 2 years ago in Great Bend by 2, 79-77. Trying to make a back-to-back against Iowa Western, but in trouble right now as Dahlman sinks them both. 64-50. Barton's deficit down to 14 now as Turney frees up along the top of the arc, spins down the free throw line, back out to Keith. Good outside shooter, takes a contested one and hits it. Connor Keith sends one down. 64-53. Barton not going away. 7:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Lady Cougars down by 11. They had it with 10-10 moments ago. Blakemore slides the offense out to the right side. Another whistle away from the ball going against Lady Cougars, against Deshonda Hunt on a hold. Hunt, that'll be her first personal foul. Alan Clark is hot right now, and I would say rightfully so. Not want to sound like a homer here, but there's been some tough calls. Up top now for Iowa Western. Brett blows by Keith, puts up a layup, no good. Blocked by Deshonda Hunt, then blocked again on an offensive rebound. With a foul whistled against Connor Keith. Nobody blocked out the 6'1" redshirt freshman Aubrey Nody, and Keith coming from behind hacked her. And it'll be a couple of free throws now coming up for Nody with her team up by 11. Keith, that was her second personal foul. Barton's already sent Iowa Western in the bonus a long time ago as the free throw is up and good. So Chuck Woody will come back in with her 4 fouls as she replaces Deshonda Hunt. And some pretty good minutes out of Deshonda Hunt so far this weekend. She had 6 points, 3 rebounds, a couple steals yesterday in the blowout win against Ellsworth, and has played pretty good defensively here this afternoon as Nody sinks both free throws. Timeout, Iowa Western. Comes with 7:34 to go in the fourth quarter. Barton trying to make a rally to get back into this one, but still trailed by double digits. Iowa Western 66, Barton 53. Back in a minute on B104.3, The Point.
The presents have all been opened, so now is the time to spend that Christmas cash on you. Gift yourself a new phone at Next Tech Wireless because all smartphones are half price, even the iPhone XR. That's a savings of $350. Tell your friends and family too, because unlimited data is free for an entire year on lines 3, 4, and 5. Certain restrictions apply. It's New Year, new half-price phone time at Next Tech Wireless. Switch today.
Roman & Son Seed Company is proud to feature the starting lineup of Syngenta products. Golden Harvest, corn, and NK soybeans. See what's winning in the ground you're working with the help of Syngenta and Roman & Son Seed Company. Call Kent at 620-793-2985. That's 620-793-2985. Price and compare before your next purchase. Ken would appreciate the opportunity to work with you for all your seed needs. Roman & Son Seed Company, Great Bend.
Today's game brought to you by the Cougar Booster Club, Roman & Son Seed Company, and Venture Corporation. Our official review booth back in Great Bend, so it definitely was not a travel, as Lady Cougars getting some tough calls going against them here in Hutchinson. But at the sports arena, you kind of got to get used to that. So hopefully Barton is getting used to those calls that aren't really going to their side here tonight or this afternoon, because they'll be back here against a even more talented Hutchinson team in late February. Barton has ball coming out of the timeout, down 66-53, 7:29 to go in the ball game. Lady Cougars are down by 19 at halftime. They've pulled it within 13. Here's Keith on the drive. Nice hesitation. Dribble did everything but finish off the layup. Rebound is there for Iowa Western. And Keith hassling Blakemore in the backcourt, finally able to get it up across the half-court stripe. Crossover dribble, takes her down the left wing, throws it behind her. Davis, deep three-pointer, sends it through. Big three by Davis and Iowa Western, 69-53. Played 3 minutes here in the fourth quarter. Turney, little shoulder fake on a three on the left wing, back out to Stapleton, passes on a three, drives in, nice find underneath, threads the needle with a pass across the lane, and a shot goes in for Chuck Woody. 69-55, that three by Davis was big. We kind of felt like Barton, despite being down by 13, still had some momentum. Nody, a touchdown low, draws a double team, back out, Brett, three-pointer, splashes it through. Three-pointers the difference here. Iowa Western unable to hit them yesterday against Hutch, drilling them left and right this afternoon against the Barton women, 72-55. Running out time now for Lady Cougars, 6:25. Regan curls into the lane, tough layup, missed it short. Chuck Woody with the offensive rebound, dribbles it back out. Here's Turney with the rebound, or the ball on the left wing. Takes one dribble to the right, finds Stapleton, has it out near the half circle. Dribbles it up to the three-point line, stops on the left free throw line extended, throws it behind her now to Turney. 14 to shoot, it's a 15-footer, splashing through for Rochelle Turney. Well, Barton hitting buckets right now, but it's been an exchange in this fourth quarter, something they can't afford to do. Down 72-57 with 5:48 to go in the game. Blakemore starts the offense out to the left side. Brett knocks over Keith with an elbow, nothing called. Rotated around. Blakemore on the baseline drives in, and she draws a foul against the Barton women. Amy Brett, who started out on the left wing, had her pivot foot and just drug it through. Connor Keith knocked her to the floor, and there wasn't a whole lot of acting there for Connor Keith. Did not call it, and now a foul going against the Barton women goes against Keith. Talk about salt in the wounds there for Connor Keith and the Barton women. And at the free throw line is Iowa Western in the bonus is Blakemore. She knocks down the first one. This has been interesting. The second half, and even the first half for that matter, as Blakemore hits both of them. 74-57. I would not be shocked if we see some fireworks toward the end of this one if this score stays about the same, as we'll get a reach-in foul going against Blakemore on the drive from Stapleton. Blakemore, her third personal foul. 5:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. 74-57. Lady Cougars had a 4-game winning streak coming into this ball game against Iowa Western. Turney pops up to the right, left side. Bounce pass down low to Regan. Nice find. Chuck Woody misses a layup. Nody grabs the rebound for Iowa Western. Blakemore looking to run, then puts on the brakes as she crosses half court. Almost halfway through our fourth quarter. Big lead for the team out of Iowa. 74-57. Blakemore gathers it in along the left side. Top the arc it goes now for Davis. Dribbles into a 15-footer. Nobody home. Keith grabs the air ball rebound. Keith sends up the offense now for Lady Cougars. Starts the right side. Quickly down low to Chuck Woody. Spins the pass back out to Rochelle Turney along the arc. Looking for that outside shot. Dribbling into one. Can't find it. Down low, Chuck Woody. Power dribble. Push pass out to Keith. Up top, here's Stapleton. On the move, all the way to the basket. Misses a layup and is grabbed by Nody. 4:39 to go in the fourth quarter. 74-57. There's no quit in this Barton team. They will continue to fight, but Iowa Western, they have been a talented opponent so far this afternoon, especially from outside. Davis, a little shoulder fake on a three-pointer left side. Regan picks her up. Drills it back out in between the rings. Lady Reivers out of Iowa going left to right in the second half. Brett going up against Keith. Had it knocked away and stolen. What a defensive play by Connor Keith. And avoids stepping out of bounds. Rochelle Turney cars into the defense. Bank shot no good, but a follow-up is there for Rochelle Turney. And Alan Clark calls a quick timeout. Comes with 4:04 to go in the fourth quarter. Barton back to within 15. 74-59. It's Lady Cougar basketball. And B104.3 the point.
Hi, this is Connie inviting you to at the Great Bend Event Center. You will enjoy an open bar and a catered dinner by the Classic Inn. Sunflower seeks your attendance, monetary donations, and items for silent and live auctions. Call 792-1325 to make a donation or to reserve your seat. Hope to see you on March 2nd to support children and adults with intellectual disabilities.
This afternoon's game brought to you by the Best Western Angus Inn, the 10th Street Eye Care Center, the Odin Store, and Venture Corporation. Barton in trouble on the road here for the final day of the Blue Dragon Holiday Classic in Hutchinson. 4:04 to go fourth quarter, down by 15 to Iowa Western. Colby Davis checks in. She has some fouls to give, and really a good defender more for that. And right on cue, pokes it away and comes up with a steal at midcourt. Drives it in, bounce pass to a trailing Chuck Mooney, layup good. Well, Colby Davis in there for her defense, but a great find as well on the other end. 74-61. Barton picking up full court as you would expect. Davis for Iowa Western breaks the pressure. Colby Davis against De'Ara Davis. The drive by Blakemore, kicks it back out to Brett. Open look, three-pointer, and again. Amy Brett, who had 6 points yesterday, is up to 18 this afternoon, all of which coming from outside. Lob pass down low, too far in front of Ryan White, lost it, saves it out to the sideline, but Brett can't hold on to it as it goes out of bounds, so Barton will get the ball back. Another big three by Amy Brett. And at this point, you kind of live with that. You just, like I said before, you just hope that the shooting percentages from outside for Iowa Western come back down to earth, and they have yet to do that. Mallory Miller, who's not been a great matchup this afternoon against Iowa Western, comes back in the ball game. They need some deep shots from her. 3:16 to go, fourth quarter. Lady Cougars with the ball, down 77-61. Miller flashes top the arc, pump fake, leaves it off baseline. Davis jumper good. So Davis, her second field goal, 77-63. Another timeout taken by the Barton women. About a minute expires off the clock here in Hutchinson, 77-63. Barton within 14 points, but running out of time to cap off that rally. Timeout Barton, back in 30 seconds on B104.3, The Point.
When foot and ankle pain slows you down or keeps you from doing the things you want to do, Central Kansas Orthopedic Group can help. And non-surgical treatments for foot and ankle problems. Call today. Dr. Joshua Boone at Central Kansas Orthopedic Group, K96 in Broadway, Great Bend.
Back in Hutchinson on a Saturday afternoon. Cole Reif with you, Eddie Galvin, our producer. 77-63, Iowa Western. This game was tied up at 12 with just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. An 8-0 run by Iowa Western allowed them to separate, and they have held the lead ever since. They led by 6 at the end of the first quarter. They outscored Barton by 13 in the second frame to lead 49-30. Closest Barton has been since then is within 10. That was on the first bucket of this fourth quarter. They had it at 60-50. They've had some chances with some decent runs, but Iowa Western has had the outside shots to answer here in the second half once again. They had the ball up by 14. Final 3 minutes. Barton picks up in the backcourt as Davis floats it out near midcourt. Bad pass stolen away. Here's Stapleton right down the middle. Pull up 14-footer. In and out and back down for Jaylyn Stapleton. Well, there's a quick basket for the Lady Cougars. 77-65, 2:47 to go. Looks like a 2-2-1 press right now for the Lady Cougars as they throw it to the midcourt stripe. Now lob it down the corner, bounce pass right side, Dahlman no good, but an easy foul to call there against Chukwudi. Now that one was pretty easy to call going against Irene Chukwudi as she just cleared out Dahlman. Some of her other ones have been suspect at best, so that'll be a foul out for Chukwudi. Comes with 2:37 to go here in our fourth quarter. And Dahlman, who has been perfect at the free throw line, will go back to the stripe. How about that? Kira Dahlman, 48% free throw shooter on the season, and so far this afternoon, she is 7 for 7. Tough break all around for the Lady Cougars. You're going to find those in and out of the stat sheet when it comes after the final of this one, and it has this one spin off. So first miss of the afternoon for Dahlman. 2:37 to go fourth quarter. 12-point lead right now for Iowa Western. Make it 13 as she hits the second. 78-65. Stapleton runs it up across half court, takes it out to the right side, gets around one defender, and then draws a foul. Will go to the foul line. And Stapleton again hits the floor hard, and I think her face just bounced off the floor here of Sam Butterfield Court in Hutchinson. As she checks that chin. Remember, she had 6 stitches on that chin against Butler last year as a freshman. And she keeps dabbing that chin or her mouth as she makes her way to the free throw line here in Hutch. 2:31 to go in the ball game. That foul, the fourth on Blakemore of Iowa Western. So Jaylyn, 12 points so far this afternoon. 81% free throw shooter. Tosses up the first one and connects. That pressure has been getting to Iowa Western a little bit. Had an easy look underneath by Dahlman the last time down on a good pass by Nodi. Barton has come up with some turnovers. Maybe should apply that earlier here in this fourth quarter. Stapleton will have one more. This one is on its way. In and out. Popped out of there for Jaylyn. She goes 1 of 2. 78-65. Barton will still pick up in the full court after the missed free throw. Lady Cougars down by 12 with 2:23 to go. Now Davis dribbles it off her elbow, and it goes out of bounds right in front of the scores table. So Iowa Western not exactly great with the ball right now in the second half. Turn it over to the Barton women. Trying to climb back into this one, but they have a tall task. Down by 12 with 2:20 to go. Pass goes right side to Keith. Looking for that outside shot, can't find it. Turney on the move with the left hand. Stops middle of the paint, and a whistle blows in Hutch. And he'll stop the clock, and a foul going against Iowa Western. Still just the 14th foul going against the Reivers. as it'll be whistled against Dahlman, her first personal foul. So one more, and Barton goes to the bonus. Miller will check in for Davis for this offensive sequence. 2:14 to go in the game. Box formation for the Lady Cougars. Stapleton key things in. Barton down by 12 here in Hutchinson. Goes in the corner for Miller, can't find the shot. Skip past Regan, down far corner, contested three, turning, in and out, no good. It's spun out of there. Brett has the rebound for Iowa Western and has Stapleton riding her down the floor, and finally a foul called, the fourth on Jaylin. That'll stop the clock, and I mentioned Iowa Western, not an overly great free throw shooting team at 61%, but they've been much better this afternoon against the Barton women on the road in Hutchinson, as it'll be Amy Bretts. 58% shooter on the season, heels off on the first one. Well, Amy Brett was able to play against her twin sister yesterday from Hutchinson Community College, Kelsey Brett, who plays for the Lady Blue Dragons, and they're both from Australia, so one playing for Iowa Western, the other one playing for Hutch. The two met up yesterday and had a pretty close affair. Brett had 6 points for Iowa Western. Kelsey, her sister for Hutch, ended up with 7 points, but more importantly, Hutch had the big 21-point win. Brett missed the second free throw, and the rebound is there for DeShonda Hunt and saved by Dow along the baseline. Here come the Barton women, down by 12, turning, three-pointer on his way, heels off, rebound corralled in there by Dahlman of Iowa Western. That would have been the quick hitter that Barton needed with 1:48 to go in this fourth quarter. Now down by 12 as Blakemore drives in, uncontested layup as no help defense was there for Jaylin. So Blakemore gets an easy two. Barton bringing up the offense now down 80-66. Colby Davis will check in at the next dead ball as Stapleton calls out the play. Final 90 seconds here in Hutch. Screen set by Hunt. Stapleton rolls off, pulls up, 17-footer, nobody home. Grabs her own miss, goes in between two defenders, knocked to the floor, nothing called, and the rebound is there for Iowa Western. Nody had a little kick there for Jaylin on her way down as Jaylin was still on the floor. So Iowa Western can waste some more time off the clock right now, up by 14 points. As a tough team. Started out in the top 25 poll, but they had a tough schedule. Nody bank shot, spun on Hunt, and gets an easy one. 82-66 final minutes as Barton having their chances in the second half, but were never able to crack within closer of 10 points. As Stapleton calls out the play as it starts down the left side, give and go, fought to Dow, layup misses, rebound is there for Dahlman of Iowa Western. Final 40 seconds here in the fourth quarter, so a 4-game winning streak will come to a close for the Lady Cougars as they'll try to regroup when conference play starts up with a tough one at home, though, against Butler Community College next Saturday, as that'll be a 5:30, 7:30 tip-off times at the Kirkman Center. Nody bank shot goes down. So Nody gets another shot to fall in. Swallow the whistle there on that one as DeShonda Hunt was coming over the top of Nody. There's been a lot of interesting no calls and calls here this afternoon as Lady Cougars got roughed up by Iowa Western. Down to 5 seconds, Dow pulls up, 15-footer, falls through. That'll stop the clock with 3.4. And the Barton women will come away from Hutchinson with a 1-1 record in the Blue Dragon Holiday Classic as they lose this one by a score of 84-68. Stick around, in 2 minutes we'll start the Best Western Angus postgame show on B104.3, The Point.